Mill says evil entered the family because we set boundaries for our newborn. How do I handle this in a healthy way? I'm sharing my story again because the last one got deleted. Our premature baby spent a month in the hospital, which was the hardest time of our lives. During this ordeal, my husband's family showed little empathy. They constantly crossed our boundaries, criticized our decisions, and claimed we were ruining the child. They even suggested they knew better than us what he needed. It felt like they were rewriting our reality, spreading the idea that we were raising our son against them. My husband's mother even told him not to send pictures of the baby because she doesn't care. As Christmas approaches, we've decided to distance ourselves from them to avoid more drama and manipulation. At the end of January, my baby boy was born at 36 weeks and 5 days. We had been going through various medical examinations because something seemed wrong with the umbilical cord. Ultimately, he was delivered by emergency C-section. After developing pneumonia, he spent 2 weeks in an incubator and needed a feeding tube. It was an incredibly difficult month, but thankfully, he is now healthy and has no lasting conditions. When we finally got home, we were cautious about visits. We showed our baby to relatives, but asked everyone not to touch him. My family was understanding and respectful. However, my husband's mother reacted poorly. She claimed she was banned from seeing the baby and insisted my parents had already held him. Every visit turned into comments about how our baby sleeps too much or eats too often. We later learned she was telling people we were ruining the child and that she knew better what he needed. She even claimed the baby had never been sick and suggested I wanted to stay in the hospital longer just to avoid seeing her. It escalated to the point where, during Easter, her family suggested my husband and I should get a divorce. Then my husband's great uncle, whose apartment we were renting, threatened eviction, forcing us to move out. My husband tried to communicate with his mother multiple times, but she refused to listen. She began telling others that he was aggressive, which was far from the truth. He was crying and begging her to stop hurting us. We met her just as often as my parents, but because every visit ended in conflict, we started seeing her less. Although my husband invited her over, she refused because I was present. She never adjusted to our schedule or offered help. Even though we live on the same street, she expected us to bring the baby to her. She has never reached out to me and only contacts my husband when she wants to manipulate him emotionally. Recently, she started claiming we were raising our son against her wishes. After we moved out, we stopped seeing anyone from my husband's family. Attempts to reach out ended in arguments. They denied their previous comments, rewrote our experiences, and insisted we were the ones being unreasonable. After so many failed attempts, we've given up. It feels like talking to a wall. My husband's mother has made it clear she won't change her stance. The last time they spoke, she told him not to send any more pictures of the baby because she doesn't care. With Christmas around the corner, I dread the thought of spending it arguing or feeling stressed. We plan to avoid his family altogether, but I know his mother will likely create some drama to play the victim. Is there a healthy way out of this situation? To add some context, our relationship was never close. She didn't even acknowledge our marriage and often made cutting remarks. The dynamics in my husband's family are quite strange, so her behavior felt somewhat typical. She was unhappy about the pregnancy and especially didn't want a grandson. While we would prefer to cut ties completely, it feels strange to think our son would also be cut off from his relatives. It seems we're left with only unhealthy options. My husband's cousins, godparents, and grandparents share everything with us. Only his cousins know the full story, but they won't speak up for us to avoid the drama. It's frustrating, and I can't help but feel disheartened by the entire situation.